You want to know what is the definition of a golden 2024? ICC ODI Women Cricketer of the Year, BCCI Women Cricketer of the Year, WPL winning team, and topping it all off, a fantastic 2024 which no one had ever imagined. You would have guessed who I'm talking about. It's Smriti Mandhana, who we are joined exclusively today at India Today. Smriti, thank you so much for taking time out and talking to India Today.
Thank you so much.
Smriti, before I come to the personal, when you look at the achievements, which is a staggering 2024, you got this pamphlet here, Sports Forward Nation. It is a very novel thing that RCB have started. I mean, when you look at women's cricket, how important is this particular initiative?
Yeah, I think it's massive from RCB. Last year they started the Leaders Summit, and now they have started the Sports Forward Nation. I think it's a really brilliant start. I think India as a country, I think we want to be the sporting country, which most of the times we are only spoken about cricket, but it's always nice to have all other sports coming together. And I'm so happy that RCB has started this initiative, and I hope that we just keep growing with it.
You talked about sports. I mean, if you look at it, the Commonwealth Games, that was the first exposure when you had with multi-sports. You played at the same thing. Cricket, unfortunately, you lost. But India were developing in other sports also. You won medals. How does sports, this initiative, help in other development of sports in the country, not just for cricket, and for women's sport and women's cricket in general?
Yeah, I think we've seen what WPL has done for women's cricket, and brands like RCB and all the other franchises who have come in. I think they've only grown women's cricket in last 2 years. It has reached a lot of people, which not like people knew about women's cricket, but a lot of players, they've started knowing the players because of the fan base of the existing franchises like RCB. So I'm sure that RCB starting this sort of initiative for other sports as well is only going to help the sport grow, because sometimes as a player, I would say that all you need is that equal amount of respect, and be it sports or any other sports. So I'm really happy that this has started, and I think it's just the start. Hopefully we can see what we can do and grow India into a sporting nation.
RCB defending champions of the WPL. Now, we have been so privileged that you beat the Delhi Capitals, and RCB did what the men's team couldn't do for 17 years. Win an inaugural major T20 league. Now, how did, after the slump you had last year, in the inaugural edition of the WPL, how did you bounce back, and how did you ensure that, yes, we had a title winning team? Because the personnel were the same. Was it mindset? Was it message? What changed in that particular phase?
No, I think we always believed because it was our first season or second season. Sometimes people like to link the histories of the franchise because it's the same name, but as you mentioned, 17 years and all of that, it's all related to men's cricket and their team. I think we never saw it that way. Of course, the first season for us was a really disappointing one. But to be fair, as a team, we couldn't get together and try and work on a lot of things. We just finished a World Cup. We came in and straight away we were into WPL. Not much of knowledge about each other. So I think the only thing which we tried to do in between the first season and the second season for the whole year was trying to build the team in a way where we know each other, we are communicating well. We had a good auction second season. I think we got the likes of Sophie Molyneux, Wareham, and those sort of people all added a lot. Plus we got a lot of experience in our domestic in the last auction and in this auction as well. So I think, and as a team, I've just realized you can do everything and whatever you can, but sometimes things are there which are meant to happen, and you just keep doing your stuff and be positive, and the rest is taken care by.
Smriti, 2024, you won the ODI Cricketer of the Year, ICC, BCCI Women Cricketer of the Year. Your form with the bat, you averaged in excess of 17 ODIs. Form was simply stunning across everything. 2024, can you call it your best year, or do you think there were other years also where you were performing really well, you were in that right frame of mind? Do you think 2024 is the culmination of all the consistencies that you've had from 2018 onwards?
That would be hard to pick. I mean, for sure, the World Cup would have gone in a different way for us as a team, and for me individually, I would have picked for sure 2024 as my best year. But I always believe that something is really special to us as Indian team is that World Cup. So we had a really disappointing one. So the 2024 year for us was, I mean, sweet and bitter in a lot of ways. So I wouldn't say that, sometimes it's not an individual sport, right? It's a team sport. So I wouldn't say 2024 was my best year because we did not win the World Cup trophy. And I would say whenever we win the World Cup trophy, that would be the best year for me, individually and as a team. As a batter, I would say 2018 and 2024 were pretty close in terms of how I have felt. I always believe that runs are something which people like to see and all of that. But as a batter, you want to really feel good as in the nets. And I think 2018 and 24 were the years where I felt really good.
The last question I'll ask, Smriti. When you look at, you mentioned the World Cup. 2025 is a very, very important year for women's cricket. And already women's cricket has made a massive stride with our under-19 women's team winning the World T20 for the second straight time. The World Cup is coming to India after 12 years. And it really pains me to ask this, but I'll ask a very, very tough question. How do you stop Australia? Because unfortunately what has happened 2023, 2024, 2022, you were the team that looked closest to beating Australia, but you've just stumbled at that very moment. Is it a case of Australia just being lucky? Or do you think somewhere down the line we stumbled in the crucial moments?
Well, I think I always believe luck in sport comes only by your hard work. So I wouldn't say that any team has been lucky, or I think I would put their performances down. I think they have been one of the best teams. I think the era of what they have gone through in the last 8-10 years has been amazing, and it's one of the most golden eras for a team to have. So I wouldn't put their performances down, but definitely this World Cup showed us that no team is not beatable. I think South Africa gone past Australia in semis and reached the finals, and New Zealand ended up winning the trophy, which was again not expected. Not many people would have thought that New Zealand will win. So I just feel anything can happen in cricket. For us as players, we have to really go back to our drawing rooms and just see what things we have done wrong, and just go back and work on those things. Try, as you said, we've lost by fine margins a lot of times. So. And as a team, as a players, we'll have to see how can we just fine-tune those fine margins and go to a place where we are going past that 100 mark. So, which will be really cool. And I think one thing which cricket has taught me, that not to think too far ahead. So definitely it's a big year, a World Cup year, but I would just say that it's really important to do your daily routines right and see what happens in the next 6 months.
Yep. So WPL title defense and the ODI World Cup are your two major aims this time around. So last parting question is, what will be the focus of the Indian cricket team, and for you, these are the two goals, but apart from that, leadership role, maybe going ahead, what is the future for SM18 when you look at it?
SM18.
Yeah, you're VK18, but for RCB you're SM18, isn't it?
Well, I think as I said, for us we need to really keep things simple, and coming from that place where the question you asked, I think all I could say is, as a team, I think we really want to do well. We really want, and everyone who's coming in also has a lot of energy. But the only thing I would say that at this moment, talking about too far ahead, I think I'm not that person. I've never been. So I would rather focus at the moment about what I have to do today in the gym.
Okay.
What I have to practice tomorrow, and do those things right, because when you do those things right is when you could go on the ground and play a certain way. So yeah, I think all those things we can talk about the whole day, but I think it's really important to go out and do your own routines.
So that was Smriti Mandhana, and it was truly a pleasure talking to you, Smriti. Thank you so much yet again for giving time, and thank you so much for listening to this interview. Subscribe to Sports Today for all the latest news and analysis. And once again, Smriti, thank you so much.
Thank you.